Karthik, it's time to talk about another very important Mr. Malhotra, whose comments...
Unrelated, totally.
Absolutely.
Except for the physical currency that I use, it has a signature now. But do I use it? I don't know.
I'm talking about RBI Governor Sanjay Malhotra, who set the cat amongst the pigeons when at an event in Mumbai, he said that soon your UPI transactions will be charged. In fact, he alluded to the fact that you can't have UPI free forever. That's a fear that was, circulating among so many people connected with the UPI ecosystem, including regular customers like you and me. If they start charging for every transaction, Karthik, do you have a count of the number of transactions you do on UPI? Shweta, do you?
Not at all.
Well, no.
On a day.
I have a count of the number of notes that I carry, currency notes that I carry in my wallet, and that is 0.
But Shweta?
4 for me. I carry 4 notes, and that's all. But that too in case of emergency. But more seriously, we are staring at a UPI which we've enjoyed for free for far too long now. And I believe, Sanjay Malhotra, completely unrelated to our Karthik Malhotra, is right when he says the system cannot bear it anymore. Yeah. Someone will have to bear the cost. Yeah. And so far, the NPCI network and banks have been bearing it. And in absence of zero MDR, the zero MDR policy that India has been on with since 2019, the systems are failing. Every other day we see, servers are down, there's some sort of hack, they can't take it anymore. And we are now sitting at a reality that until we start paying UPI or NPCI for the services that we use, system cannot take it.
Talk about that, Karthik, we will come to you. Just for a number over here, 4 major outages this year between the months of March and April in just 3 weeks, Karthik. Never seen that before with UPI.
Yeah, but Krishna, just to play defense for the NPCI, and I think, to be honest, salute to NPCI. They've created a fabulous product, unlike anything we've seen anywhere in the world. And the fact that it comes on the back of India's stack, it comes on the back of the entire digitization that we've seen all the way from Aadhaar and mobile phone penetration to now the UPI and even ONDC, which I think has yet to kick off and really become that much of a game changer as it was stated to be. The fact is, look at the number of times you get emails from your banks that there is going to be a maintenance, there is going to be an upgrade, and services are going to be down for a certain period of time. I think that far exceeds the 4 outages that we're talking about on UPI. Right. Having said that, yeah, sure. I mean, at the end of the day, you're talking about a technology, and that technology will have glitches, and those glitches will have to be addressed. Also, look at the number of people transacting on UPI every day. I think, those numbers would be on the screen on graphics.
400 plus million transactions a day.
400 million transactions a day. I mean, there is going to be some load on the system. Systems are going to act up sometimes. I mean, don't our office computers act up every once in a while? Yeah. So, I mean, these are things that happen. Coming to the moot question of the fact that UPI has been instrumental, especially post-pandemic, during the pandemic and that habit post-pandemic for people to just use digital transactions and not carry as much physical currency as they used to. If it becomes paid, is it really going to see a dip? And if it sees a dip, are people going to go back to ATMs and stand in queues and withdraw cash? And will hawkers on the street, small-time merchants be expected to carry those chiller change again, and every time you buy something, there is an exchange of notes and coins that happens. I think as
sounds dystopian.
As a society, we have evolved ourselves much beyond that. And honestly, every time you travel abroad, it's a pain dealing with cash. I went to Japan recently. I was in Europe last week. It becomes difficult to carry those coins. So I think as Indians, at some level, it's great. We have evolved beyond that. And bearing a little bit of cost on every transaction is okay. But the question is, how much is little bit of transaction charges? And are we the right target group to really accept or complain about those charges on transactions? Because UPI charges are going to impact a lot of people, especially those who may be able to ill afford them.
Small-time vendors,
absolutely.
shopkeepers, they are vegetable vendors, they are likely to be most impacted. And if there's any cost that the merchant will have to bear, it will be passed down to us as
Absolutely,
consumers.
yeah.
And how much, I think, is the question that I think we'll be waiting an answer for. Because until that comes out, there's more clarity. We're all just guessing.
But you know, Krishna, as users, sorry, I'll just let you come in. As users, we did use debit cards at one point,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
There was a cost that the merchant would have to bear on the service provider, a Visa or a MasterCard as the case may be, a small percentage of every transaction, right? Now, there was once upon a time, not too long ago, maybe about a year and a half back, when there was this debate on whether transactions in excess of 2,000 rupees would have a similar charge to be borne by merchants. And merchants said nothing doing, we are not going to bear these costs,
That's
right?
right.
But debit card users, credit card users, merchants who are receiving those payments have lived with that little bit of cost. So UPI also worked as a great sort of antidote for them, because here there was a digital transaction without a plastic being swiped or tapped,
Yeah.
and there was no cost that they had to bear. Now, there's also another aspect of who bears the cost for currency notes. And you read a fabulous story some time back. There's a concept called senrage.
Yeah.
If a 100 rupee note takes 1 rupee in printing, then that 1 rupee is technically not something customers like you and me are
Yeah.
bearing, right? So that cost was borne by RBI. And whatever RBI made, it sold a 1 rupee cost note for 100 rupees
Yeah.
and made 99 rupees profit. Right.
Better
Here-
so if it's a 500 rupee note or a 2000 rupee
here,
note.
your cost of every transaction is likely to be much lesser than 1
Yeah,
rupee, right? So
yeah.
why should RBI not bear that cost? Why should it come to people like us?
Yeah, what you have to keep in mind is that what's going to happen to all those phone pay, GPay, and all those service providers, because they've all built their entire businesses. These fintech players have built their businesses on the model that
Yep.
the entire transaction is going to be zero cost. The moment that there's going to be a transaction fee for it, they will definitely have to pass it down to everybody, from consumers to merchants.
When this entire transition to using wallet stroke UPI began, there was something which we all like very much called cashback.
Yeah, yeah.
Imagine the amount of money they have paid us as cash back in first getting us on board and then retaining us. I think they will be able to take a little bit of beating as long as their cashback is more lucrative for
Yeah.
people to stick on with them.
Yeah.
Well, to sum it up, there is ambiguity on whether we, the users, are going to pay some sort of money to either merchants
Yeah.
or government or NPCI at large. But we do know for a fact that NPCI is not making any revenue. Their systems are under pressure. We're looking at outages. We're looking at maintenance issues propping up more than ever in the last 1 year. And so one should therefore be ready to pay some money to ensure UPI remains unabated, the access remains
Yeah.
available to everyone. So we're not looking at free UPI, at least in the interim.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's time to get that wallet back out of the closet. See, I hope it doesn't
Both
have
kinds of
any
wallets.
fungus on
Both
it.
the-
Clean it up.
Both kinds of wallets, both the online wallets that we used to use before UPI became a reality and the real wallets that we have
Yeah.
So-
in
so-
our pockets.